Welcome back to the channel, everybody. In today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at this contraption right behind me. This is an ender pearl transporter that is connected from here at spawn. This is our world spawn. Basically, 0, 0 is just right over there. And it is connected to the castle build that we have going on, which is at like 2,400 by negative 1,600. So roughly 2,000-ish blocks away. The redstone actually travels around 4,000 blocks because it goes in a straight line and then a straight line. So it's about 2,400 by negative 1,600. This is capable of triggering an ender pearl stasis chamber at either location. It is to and from, I guess. If I click this, in roughly 47 seconds, it will transport me to the castle. And this is done very complicatedly. When the last update, I think it was 1.21.3, introduced the idea of ender pearls loading chunks as they go, this was my first thought. Like, you could put a series of ender pearl chunk loaders along a redstone line and then use, just the ender pearl at the trapdoor, and it will teleport you, a long ways away. Now, we did run some tests, and it's just marginally slower than going through the nether and using a rocket, and it's just marginally slower than using Riptide Trident while it's raining. But I gotta admit, this is so much cooler than that. Like, I don't know, there we go. Coordinates 2,300 by negative 1,670. So yeah, it's quite a ways away, and it works both ways. And I'll get my camera account on, and we will take a look at the goings on, and I'll explain kind of what's going on here. All right, so I'm over here on my camera account. So basically, there's a dropper here. You press the button, and it drops the item all the way down. Whee! Oh, whoa, too far, too far. Slow down there, Bessie. Into this jumbled mess here. Comparator reads it when the item hits the hopper and goes through, and it triggers a pulse in these powered rails, which is picked up and transmitted via these observers. And these are 4 of them, so there's 2 incoming and 2 outgoing. These are for Mildly Amused and myself. If more members want some, then we're going to have to dig some more tunnels, which a lot of tunnel digging, but lots of diamonds on the way. I mean, I think I accrued over a stack and probably like 20 some diamond blocks just from digging these tunnels. So pretty profitable. But anyways, so outgoing is pretty simple. You drop an item, it picks it up via the comparator there, sends a signal into this powered rail, and gets repeated down the line from these observers. Incoming, it comes in and triggers the dispenser here, which has a bucket, and it changes the state of this bubble column from either not a bubble column to a bubble column. And at the top, there is an observer, and that observer sees the change in the water, whether it is going from bubbles or to bubbles, and it flips trapdoor and summons you. So it's pretty straightforward. Let me get my gamma turned on so it's a little easier to see. Now, these chunk loaders here with the ender pearls, they will keep a 3x3 chunk around it loaded. So the chunk that it's in plus one chunk in every direction, and then obviously the corners as well. Not too worried about that because we just need the chunks in line here. So there are 81 of these ender pearl stasis chambers along the path here. And oh, okay, let me get these chunk borders turned off. That's a little too much. Yeah, you keep going. It's just chamber. It just keeps going. And this took me a better part of, I'm wanting to say, about 5 days of work. The rails, we did not spend all that gold on rails. We do have a rail duplicator. That's about the only thing that we're willing to use any type of duplicator on. But without it, I mean, this would have been exceptionally expensive. And we probably wouldn't have done it to spawn. But it's a really interesting kind of experiment that we were wanting to do. And I'd say it turned out really well. It's really interesting, for sure. This corner junction is kind of odd, but I mean, it works. Everything works. So long as whoever... one of the quirky things, I guess I should say, about the ender pearls is when you log out, they disappear. So myself and Mildly Amused have pearls in all of these. So if I'm not logged in, he still has his loading all the chunks. But if neither one of us are on, none of these ender pearls are here. They log out with us. So if there was a third person who was wanting to use this and neither one of us were on, it would not work because these chunks would no longer be loaded. But yeah, it's a lot of work, a lot of setup for what most people would probably consider not worth it. But I'd say it was worth it because it's really an interesting project, interesting experiment. And if you're looking for materials, deep slate, diamonds, tough, I mean, this gives you a reason to mine and it gives you a lot of resources. So there's that. But kind of can see the extent of the mining that's gone on in this world as well. Kind of ridiculous. My first kind of iteration of getting the redstone down was this redstone spiral, which I do need to scrap that and recycle, but I just haven't yet. Yeah, there are 81 of these all the way down the line, all the way back to the castle. And I'll go ahead and push the button. Hang on, let me set myself right here, I guess. It'll be this far line, right? No, it'll be this second line, the one that's going up and over here. That's the one to watch. I'll probably just cut right to it. Right, there we have it. And if we go up to the top, hopefully no mobs had spawned in the nighttime. And there I am. And then all we have to do to get back, we just reset our ender pearls every time. And then we can push the button. And here in 46 seconds, I will get transported back to the castle. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't keep up with what goes on with the technical community as much. So I'm sure someone's probably done this or similar, probably more efficient than what we have here. But I just thought, I've never really messed with chunk loaders before because it usually involved nether portals. And with this method, it's easy to set up. Simple to set up, I should say. Maybe not necessarily easy. But if you did this, in the overworld and didn't dig a tunnel in Deep Slate, it would totally be doable. Yeah, it's a really, really handy thing. And kind of a proof of concept for what we're wanting to do in the castle itself. We were thinking about having some like between the storage building and our nether portal, just to quick travel from here to the storage, or from like the probably it might end up being inside this bastion building that I built. From that to the storage over there, or from this to like the industrial area over here. So yeah, it's really quite interesting. I know it's it's really not necessary, but it's one of those things that we wanted to do just because we had never done it before, and before now it really hadn't been possible. A few interesting stats to look at on this project though are the rails that I used, and I put down 8,582 powered rails. Well, that's what I have total. Probably 95% of that was this project. And I know Mildly Amused probably placed down, probably another 1,600 or so. And then another stat to look at is our observers placed. And I've almost placed 2,000 observers, and I know I probably didn't have more than 100 placed before this. So crazy amount of observers. We crafted up a shulker box full, and I used that many, and that was not all of them because Mildly also used or placed down maybe a fourth of maybe a fifth of the line. So yeah, it crazy amount of rails and observers. Now we still have tons and tons of powered rails because, like I said, we do use the rail dupers, but that's about the only thing we're willing to use dupers on. So there's a little bit of information on stats and stuff. I think that will pretty much cover what I wanted to talk about and what I wanted to go over. And if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you would. What in the world is going on over there? Oh, chunk glitches. Bobby mod. Yep. Okay. The Bobby mod is a little glitchy when I have 2 accounts logged in. It is all good. Anyways, like, share, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. If you want like some sort of tutorial for this, I don't really think I need a tutorial, but I am willing to make one if enough people ask for it. So until next time, I will see you guys later. Take care. Bye bye.